So now the question is, can I make 7 and 3 into some numbers with the same base? And the answer is no, I can't. That's not possible, right? Those are both prime numbers. I cannot change 7 into 3 or 3 to a power or vice versa. So right ahead, I have to, like before, apply common log or natural log to both sides. So we go ahead and we do this. Fine, like before, but now I have to be super careful, because if I write this, that will be an error. This does not say that 2x plus 1 is a factor. This says that 2x plus 1 is a factor. The same thing here, I plug in, I'm bringing in front x plus 2 natural log 3. Again, if I don't put parentheses, I will not be able to, I will not change this correctly. So x plus 2 is a factor, meaning everything, entire x plus 2. If you omit parentheses, we don't get to the correct answer. Okay, so in the next step, as I mentioned before, don't get scared or afraid or thrown off by this number. It's just a simple poor number. I need to distribute this number that looks fancy, but is just nothing really. So 2x natural log 7 plus natural log 7 equals x natural log 3 plus 2 natural log 3. I know that I am after this because those two terms contain x. So therefore, both terms with x have to be on one side, and the terms without x have to be on the other. I have to separate them because now this is a linear equation that I need to solve. In the next step, I would write 2x natural log 7 minus x natural log 3 equals 2 natural log 3 minus natural log 7. In the next step, I'm asking myself, how do I proceed? Because these are not like terms. I cannot add, subtract terms that are not like terms. So what do I do? What is the alternative? What is the option we have when we cannot combine like terms, but we still want to solve for x? And remember I said, please always keep these two in the back of your mind. At any point in time, we have to think in these terms. So then what can I do here? What should I do here in order to find x?
We should divide by 2 natural log 7 minus natural log 3.
But I have to factor out x first. And only then I can divide. So yes, I have to factor out what I'm solving for, which is x in this case. Yes, 2 natural log 3 minus natural log 7, 2 natural log 7 minus natural log 3. And this is final. Now if you want to check, you should approximate it, but be very careful how you approximate this. Because in the graphing calculator you have to put parentheses around the numerator and parentheses around the denominator. Ready? Left parenthesis, 2 natural log 3, close the parenthesis, minus natural log 7, close the parenthesis for natural log 7, and then close the parenthesis for the outside. Now divide by, and in parentheses again, 2 natural log 7, close the parenthesis, and minus natural log 3, close the parenthesis, and close the parenthesis for the denominator. So now I can press enter, and I think I have too many parentheses here. And it will probably give me an error if I'm not careful. Yes. Okay. Oh, it gave me an error anyway. Yes. Here's why. I said parentheses, but I didn't put it. Okay. So I got the answer approximately 0.08997. Now let's suppose I don't believe this and I want to check. And remember, the original equation was 7 raised to 2x plus 1 equals 3 raised to x plus 2. I can check in this equation, or better, I can check into this equation. They are the same. I just moved this term to the other side. But if I use this equation, then I will ask the calculator to recall the previous answer. And I don't have to type it in. But if I use this, I will not be able to use the previous answer on this one. So careful. So 7 caret in parentheses 2 times the previous answer, second and minus, plus 1, close the parenthesis, and then minus 3 caret again in parentheses x. Oh, I don't want x. I want the previous answer plus 2, and close the parenthesis. And now press enter. When I press enter, I better get 0. If I don't get 0, this is incorrect. And the answer is 0. Any questions? Any questions? Do we want to look at any other problem, any other exponential equation, anything before we move on to log equations? The one that I would like to look at is 36, unless you have something else in mind. Is 36 okay, or you have something else for me? Okay, no one.
36 is good.
Okay, very good. Thank you. 36, e to 4x minus 5 minus 7 equals 11,243. Okay. What do you think we need to do here first? Remember, always the 2 key words. Always. What should we do?
Move the 7 over?
Of course. So e to 4x minus 5 equals 11250. Of course. That 7 is in the way. Very good. Now, can I present e and 11,250 with the same base? That's never going to happen. So what are my choices? Or what is the only choice I have? Well, my only choice is to apply natural log to both sides, because I can present both with the same base. So then I bring in front 4x minus 5 times natural log e equals natural log 11,250. As you know, this is a number and this is another number, but I would like to discuss this number before we continue. natural log e is some number y. Remember, one of the most important concepts in this chapter is that I can change any log equation into an exponential equation and any exponential back into a log. So how do I change this into an exponential? Remember, I start with the base, but I don't see the base. What is the base here? I don't see the base.
Oh, it was E.
Exactly, E. Very good. It was a tricky question, I'm sorry. Yes, we don't write it, but it's base E. So remember, counterclockwise, starting with the base raised to this power equals this number. Not multiplied. Do not say E times Y equals E. No, it's E raised to a power which equals E. So can anyone tell us how much is natural log E? So then we remember this forever. What can this number be? Which number we raise E to get E?
1.
1. So please remember and box it in. Natural log E is 1. But here's another example for you. What about log 10? As you notice, this is the same base with this number. This is the same base with this number. What is it?
Also 1.
Excellent. What about log base A of A? What would that equal to?
That'll also be 1.
That's it. So please remember this. This is one very important property of log. Log of the base, log of base A of A is 1. Good, so then this is 1. I'm back to the problem. This is 1. So then I have 4x minus 5 equals natural log 1, 1, 2, 5, 0. This is just a number. So what should I do next to find x? Well, with your permission, oops, what is this?
Sorry, going back, it's like, okay, so you got rid of the natural log on the 4x minus 5, because... Sorry, I know, I'm just trying to follow your transform here.
So this is 1, so I copied 4x minus 5, and I copied this.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Okay.
Good. So then 4x equals 5 plus natural log 1, 1, 2, 5, 0. And final step, I can write one fraction line. It's okay in this case. And divide by 4. Yes, we can approximate if you would like to check. Would you like to approximate, or you can do that later, or is this okay? We want to approximate and check, or we don't?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So remember, parentheses around the numerator. The denominator has only one term. It's okay without parentheses, just this time. So left parenthesis, 5 plus natural log 1, 1, 2, 5, 0. Close the parenthesis and close the parenthesis for the numerator, and then divide by 4. And I got 3.582. So x is approximately 3.582. Now, the original problem was this, e raised to 4x minus 5 minus 7. I'm going to move 1, 1, 2, 4, 3 to the other side, just because it's easier to, oh, in this case I don't have a power there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because I'm going to use the recall the previous answer only once. Okay, so never mind. So I wrote it. Let's do it that way. It's okay. So E2 in parentheses 4 times the previous answer, but make sure that you have the previous answer there. If you deleted it or you have something else, you cannot use this feature, right? So minus 5, close the parenthesis, and then minus 7, and then minus 1, 1, 2, 4, 3. When I hit enter, I have to get 0. If I don't get 0, then this is wrong. So I got 0, that's correct. Any questions?
Is it possible to walk through how to enter on a calculator one more time? Because I can't see your screen very well, and I almost never get the correct answer on the calculator.
Okay, so we want to check this again. So we use the left parenthesis. Is this better? 5
Yeah, it's a little better.
plus natural log 11250 close the parenthesis for the log and close the parenthesis for the numerator, and then divide by 4 and press enter.
Okay, got that one.
And now, in order to plug it back in, we go to second and E.
That's the E that's over the division symbol.
So, no, not that one. It's e to a power. It's where ln.
Okay.
So ln and e to the x are on the same key because they are inverse functions. Also, log and 10 to the x are on the same key because they are inverse functions. So we are using e to the x with second and e to the x natural log, in other words. And we have this, put parenthesis, and then we have 4, and multiplied by, you don't have to put the multiplication symbol, but just write second and answer. And it will copy the answer I had before. But then I have to write minus 5, and I have to close the parenthesis. Don't forget to come down from the power and put minus 7 and minus this. So minus 7 and minus 1, 1, 2, 4, 3. Is this better?
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'll just have to practice.
What did you get?
Negative 11,000, so on and so forth.
But did you put the e to 4 previous answer minus 5? Did you close the parenthesis and come down and wrote negative 7 and minus this?
It did. Let me. Oh no. Okay. Maybe that's what I screwed up. I just combined negative 7 and 11,243.
That's fine.
Oh really? Okay.
It's 11,250.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing wrong. I'm not giving 0.
Can you turn your camera on and show what you're doing on the calculator?
Secret. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Okay. This is really weird working in mirror image. Okay.
Let me see. You forgot the okay, so you just put in 3. Yes, you cannot get so hold on. So you have 2, what is it 2? Is it 3.58 2? Okay, and did you put parentheses, did you put the, so, but you forgot to multiply by 4.
Multiply by 4.
Right? So when we check,
Oh, did I screw that up that time? Oh, see, I put that up here.
yeah, but it's not outside, it's in parentheses. You put the 4 outside of the parentheses and you change the problem.
Because you have to, when a calculator did it, the calculator multiplied the 4 back into
No,
the
no,
answer.
no. Ben, you put the 4 outside the parentheses. You have to put the 4 inside the parentheses.
Let's see what I screwed up there.
That's okay. So look here for one more second.
Okay.
So very good. Thank you. So when you try to check, right? Even if you, so let's say you don't want to put the complete answer. If you put a complete answer, you'll get 0. But let's say you want to type in what you have, correct? That's what you tried, correct?
Right.
Okay, so you put e to the power, you have to put parentheses in front, and you have 4 times. So 4 multiplied by, as you wanted it, 3.582, and then minus 5, and now you close the parenthesis,
Mm-hmm.
and then come down from there and put a negative 11,250. You will not get 0, but you'll get very, very close to 0. Right? It's not, it's negative 1.38. It's almost 0. But see, that's the problem with the logs and the exponentials. The fact that you truncated this number, it gave you some off value. But if you do it the way I showed it, like for example, one more time, 5 plus natural log 11250, close the parenthesis and close the parenthesis, and then divide by 4 and keep the answer right there. When you check now with second and e, put parenthesis plus put 4, that you have the 4 in front of x, and multiply by the previous answer, second and answer.
Mm-hmm.
And then put minus 5, close the parenthesis, come down from the power, don't continue at the power level, and put minus 11250, and now you will get 0, I guarantee you.
I'm just not on my A game today. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong. I'll have to look up some video.
That's okay. Can you show me again one more time?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just put it in again. Watch, this will be the one time that it works.
So, but do this for me. So erase everything.
Okay, yes.
Put a left parenthesis.
Just say left parenthesis. Okay.
A 5
Uh-huh.
plus